Why are packaging resellers today stuck in this ongoing battle for table scraps when it comes to selling, making money, getting into a customer and selling them for higher profit margins? The point is in today's competitive landscape, packaging resellers are all fighting each other over the same piece of pie. And that drives me crazy. If you want to get into specialized packaging, if you want to start making bigger margins and get beyond the commodity trap, you've got to do something different. Today's leadership of packaging resellers are kidding themselves that somehow this is all going to fix itself. It's not. They need to look and find alternatives. What's interesting right now in this current landscape, we've got everybody chasing everybody else on price. That's it. Not on value, on price. Who can be the cheapest? How soon can you get it there and be the cheapest? What can you do for me and be the cheapest? This is why so many packaging resellers are struggling. For the last 20 years, I have seen this dumbing down of a true packaging reseller. In the old days, they used to be able to kind of pivot into different types of packaging materials, paper, plastic, foam, whatever it may be. Nowadays, they are only laser focused on, what we really want to do is sell you a stretch wrap machine, and then we'll sell you the stretch wrap forever. That to them is specialized packaging, and it's nonsense. It's bullshit. It is not specialized packaging. It's commodity packaging that you're trying to hook somebody forever. If your company wants to succeed, if a packaging reseller wants to get to the next level, they have got to get beyond selling commodity. The issue is many of them, I will say 99.9% of them, I don't care whether it's Veritiv, Crown Packaging, Source One, Supply One, whoever they're called, none of them have embraced specialized packaging. Oh, sure, they may have a rep or two that's the oddball that's making 500 grand a year because they're out there selling specialized packaging, but the rest of them are all fighting over the same piece of pie. And it's amazing to me why management and leadership of these packaging resellers have not done or tried anything different. They barely, if you're lucky, they brought in sales trainers to help their sales reps. But today, they need much more than sales training. They need to understand and find unique opportunities. They can then partner with companies, find the correct cutting edge suppliers, and then sell to the end user. But today, they don't know what to do with this. For example, why I'm so adamant about the specialized packaging. And in this first pillar of this program, this is all about understanding the market, the landscape. Again, so many companies just sell commodity packaging. They even are delusional thinking that they're involved with something unique because they're not. Salesmen in these spaces aren't even aware of what's available. The truth is that there's so many types of specialized packaging, and you've got to have a firm knowledge of what the advantages, disadvantages, what the opportunities are. And this is where a lot of packaging resellers get lost. They get stuck, they get lost, and they quit. That to me is where a lot of this is coming down the pipe. There are these unique types of packaging. I don't care whether it's a film or a paper or a type of bag, or a type of machine, or a type of foam, or a type of plastic, whatever it may be. There's all these nuances and little tiny niches in these spaces that some very big companies in the US, in North America, need and use. The issue is that oftentimes companies don't realize that they need this stuff, or they think that, oh God, they're probably dealing with the biggest of the big companies, and that's really not true. For example, you can look at anybody in the juice business. I'm talking about orange juice, Tropicana, for example. And I guarantee you there's only a couple of major players in that space of using these big IBCs or inner bulk container bags or bladders, okay? When they juice this stuff and put it in 330-gallon containers, it's a very high-tech specialized type of liner that goes into an IBC. The point I'm getting at is there's only a couple of suppliers in the US that do this, and they're all failing. Since COVID, US supply has been horrible. They used to go 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week. They're lucky if they can do 1 shift a day, 4 days a week. We've got this whole issue where companies are short-staffed. Manufacturers of packaging products are barely able to make the orders that they have, yet they're trying to pretend that what's happening in this space is They're pretending they're fine, but they're not. How do I know this? Because I'm hearing from these big players like a Tropicana, like companies that use these products going like, I'm working with Sholey, I'm working with Liquibox. Those are the biggest players. They're the only companies in the country, and I can't get my product. They're 6 weeks late. They're 7 weeks late. They took my order. They took my deposit. They promised the stuff next week, and now they just told me they're going to be 6 weeks late. I can't work like this. This is happening in product after product after product in the packaging space. This is why packaging resellers have a unique opportunity if they embrace learning about, becoming knowledgeable about specialized packaging, the different nuances to it, how to identify opportunities, how to then find cutting-edge suppliers that can provide that to them. And then, what's just as critical, they've got to teach and train their reps how to do this. Oftentimes, you've got one guy, like I said before, that's in the specialized space, and then they just kind of, they run off. And you know what? This is where it's a problem. Oh, by the way, if you like this content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And again, look for more information here. We'd love to have you. There's plenty of information on davidmaranek.com as well, and my YouTube channel. So back to this. So the opportunity here that's playing out right now for packaging resellers and leadership of packaging resellers is to embrace the unknown. This is where it's really we're pushing the boundaries. You got a lot of old timers in the packaging reseller management space. Oh, that's not the way we do it. We don't ask for help. We figure it out ourselves, or we'll buy direct on our own and we'll negotiate ourselves. And frankly, they're losing out on tremendous opportunities to beat their competition to death. This to me is really pathetic. You've got a lot of these big players with tons of money, tons of resources, the ability to do very unique things, and yet they're not, because they're uneducated, because they think to them warehousing something for somebody and selling a unique type of stretch wrap machine is specialized packaging, and it's not. Specialized packaging can be anything that solves a customer's pain. Could be anything from batch inclusion film used in the rubber compounding industry. Could be aseptic packaging used in food preservation. HPP, or high pressure pasteurization, used in baby food and sauces. It can be industrial stuff where you're taking a rigid type of bucket or pail or even glass and converting that into a flexible type of material that is, 85, 90% less material, 85, 90% better for the environment, 85, 90% less costly. And yet packaging resellers have no clue what to do about this. They don't understand because they haven't been led and they haven't been trained. The ideas here are endless. So many companies, look, here's the deal. Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Nestle's, they're not our targets. I'm telling you, packaging resellers, now that doesn't mean you can't try. And if you're lucky and you find somebody, oftentimes they're already connected to the biggest players. This is part of the problem. The Sholeys, the Liquibox, the West Rock, the big, you name any big manufacturer, they're in bed with Coca-Cola, Nestle's, Procter & Gamble. Fine. But there's all those other companies underneath that, Purdue, Tyson Foods, that aren't literally beholden to any particular company. They are getting the table scraps of these major players. Cook and bag film and bags, cook and bag technology, high pressure or high temperature films for bag and box and bladder bags. There's endless opportunities in the cannabis space if you know where to go and how to find the right suppliers. The point of all of this is that there's a ton of opportunity if in fact a company embraces specialized packaging. Hence, this is why I created this course. This is pillar one, just to explain the landscape. It hasn't changed. It's been like this for 20, 25 years. It's not changing because we basically have hired a bunch of knuckleheads that literally, and management, by the way, they're good people, I'm sure, but they're not doing their job. Their job is to find new and fresh and innovative products and packaging to sell, and they're doing all the same thing. Everybody is looking around trying to build some sort of a glorified relationship with somebody and wonder why they're not making any money. And frankly, when you only sell commodity items and sell on price, I can be penny, I can warehouse this stuff. I'll be cheaper. That's not selling on value. That's selling and racing to the bottom. So my point with all of this, and pillar number one, is to set up the landscape here for specialized packaging. Make a case for anybody to understand that for the last 20 years, this has been like this. And if a company really wants to kick ass and take names, now is the perfect time. You've got commodity packaging that's going to, and the reps are going to be replaced by AI. I'm telling you right now, packaging sales reps that only sell or basically were glorified order takers, you're a dime a dozen. You can be replaced right away. Why would somebody pay a company car and your expenses when they can literally hire a bot for $500 and literally replace you? Because you're doing nothing. You're taking orders. My point with this is the perfect time for packaging resellers to embrace new ideas, try new things, and get beyond fighting over price. Okay? Once again, if you like this video and you want to see more, click here. But again, I want to stress, this is something that's so wide open for packaging resellers, and the opportunities are endless. So this is pillar one, just giving you a general idea on my course, Your Specialized Packaging Department. Again, I've written several of these pillars as part of this course that go into not just the landscape, but how to find these opportunities, where they're at, how to find cutting edge suppliers that can do what Scholle and Liquibox does at a fraction of the cost. Incomplete orders, oh, by the way, 35-40% less. You see where I'm going? But this is not something that you're going to find on Alibaba or some Thomas Register. You've got to know the network. You've got to know who these people are, how to find them, how to vet them, how to get samples made, how to then teach and train your reps to be able to identify and close these deals. But when they do, if they just get a taste of this just once, it comes back over and over again in a couple ways. Number one, it's very sticky business when you're specialized. They're not going to go anywhere. But number two, it's so evident to me, if one company has a problem, you can very easily go to every other company in that same industry and sell them the same thing. For example, if you're selling Moen faucets and Moen Faucet has a particular type of specialized packaging problem, say something they need to coat their brass faucets, okay, so they don't scratch. I guarantee you Marilat and Masco and any of these other Kohler have the same or similar issues. So when you solve it for one, you have a pretty good idea that others are in that space. Oh, and when you find a stellar supplier that can compete and beat the US or domestic companies that are falling on their face, that's a huge opportunity. So again, packaging resellers, the leadership need to be educated in this case, but we also have to educate these companies themselves, like the Tropicanas or Moen Faucets, that they have options, okay? All too often, if a Tropicana believes that we've worked with Scholle for 35 years and they're the equipment, so we have to order from them, that's lazy. That's lazy, and you don't. That's one of those things, because we've replaced a lot of the true buyers over the years with a Betty the clerk or Bob the clerk, that all they do is hey, look, I leave at 5. I'm not doing anything. Unless somebody tells me I need to find a solution, I'm not doing anything. My point with this is twofold. Number one, it's an issue where packaging resellers need to be educated of what's possible, but so do the end users. The end users need to know that they have options when it comes to specialized packaging. They just need to work with a company that is willing to do the testing and the trials and the samples to set this up properly. But once they do, they have a true vetted backup, potentially first string, that can replace their current supplier. You see where I'm going here? This is, again, part of it is a mindset, part of it is a philosophy, but this is about retraining what we're thinking about as packaging resellers, because all too often in this space, everybody wants to be in a hurry. Everybody's in a hurry. Oh, we got to get an order. We got to get a big order. Slow down. You want to sell commodity packaging? You go rush yourself and sell that stuff. But specialized packaging needs to be tested again, you need to make samples, you need to do test runs. But when you do this right, it comes back in spades over and over and over again. So that's a general overview of pillar number 1 for your specialized packaging department course that I put together. Again, there's several other pillars. Love for you to take a look. Again, if you need more information, go to davidmaranak.com. Don't forget to like this video. Thank you for listening.